Hey guys, how's it going? So this is the Aries new moon, very exciting. I am calling this one big dreams and big initiations because this is very, very powerful. This is the time to initiate some really big dreams. So let's get into it. And hi, if you don't know me, my name is Jenna. I like to talk about astrology and energy updates here. And I love to give you the guidance that you need so you can access your highest timelines and co-create your reality with the universe. I have been feeling this one for sure. Whoa, like the drama, the battles, the the triggers, the rushes of rage that comes up. But all for our highest good because we can use this to really get in tune with where we are aligned and where we aren't aligned in life. And this fiery, exciting, just bold energy is really trying to get us into alignment. It's trying to get us to take action towards the things that we really want. So sometimes we might feel just rage, frustration, triggered. That's like then you can feel underneath that and you can find like, what is it really that you want? Because anger is actually just a response to something that is actually suppressed, something that's a little bit softer. So this can bring us a lot of awareness of where we might be a little out of alignment. And if you're new here, I do things a little bit differently. So I do use the tropical system because I do see this more so as the 3D, the physical, where we can take action, where we can adjust things that are already manifested in the physical, and where we can clear stuff out that's not in alignment with who we truly are internally. And then I use the true sky to really get into alignment with who we truly are. And it's more so like our higher selves. You know, if you really listen, if you look at your chart, you can probably go like, oh, that's like the energy of when I take action from my soul, when I'm just getting that nudge, when it's almost a little, just not even rational changes in life. But that's usually the energy that you're more so listening to. So the real sky is like tapping into the energy of the 5D, the formless before it truly comes form. And it's kind of like that higher, just dimensional energy that where we can truly bring in the new that hasn't ever been here before. And then tropical, this is where we are facing what's already been here. That's why I like to use both because we got to do stuff in the physical. We can't ignore it. We got to get rid of stuff. We have to get in alignment in the physical. And then this is where we can plant the seed for the complete new. This is where we can manifest new things. So that's why I'm calling this big dreams, big initiations, because we have this stellium in Pisces where we can really tap into the bigger dreams. We can tap into collective dreams. And at the same time, we are going through a big surrender and release and a closing out of old cycles. We are ending a massive new era. And we've been stuck in dense karmic cycles for the past 25 years. And we're just getting out of it. You know, we are just getting fully aligned with our higher selves and who we truly are. So we can start this new beginning. But, whatever is really not aligned with our big dream is not coming with us. That's what we need to close out. That's what we need to release and, just let go of so we can have this big new beginning. Because the new that wants to come in is already here. We just need to make room for it, The embodiment that we've done the healing, we've done the letting go, we've gotten into alignment. And now it's time to let the new in. And this energy can be a little chaotic for sure. Oh my gosh. That's why I've been tapping into this energy too. Because whenever it gets a little chaotic, just go outside, be in nature. You can really focus more so on the big dream and connect to, your visions and your spirit guides and tap into just more peace, love, and serenity, and receive messages so strongly from your higher self. And then that can help you to take action and to really initiate things. So this is going to be a perfect new moon to make space for the new. This is so much fiery energy to just like clean up everything around your house, and really get stuff done. This is the momentum that we need to start planting those seeds. What do you want to initiate? How can you step into that higher level of embodiment now? How can you just do it? A good challenge that I have right now actually is the Just Do It challenge on my membership, because it is like just taking that action with in alignment with your higher self, so you can embody your higher self and just see how far that gets you every single day. But there's a lot of momentum here. If time is so weird, time is kind of like speeding up. But you can get a lot done. And I've noticed personally, just my own masculine and feminine energy, usually you have like lulls of either or, but it seems like in a day, like my masculine and feminine energy are, taking turns, and there's much more of a quick, like in and out with that stuff, instead of like being in your feminine for a day and just kind of relaxing all day and really receiving, surrendering. There's a lot more just initiatory energy right now. So you don't even need to relax that much. You already know how much more you are in alignment. And yeah, it's just time to, really make those moves. So there might be a little chaos right now, but chaos is good, because that is for restructuring. That is that, powerful feminine energy that comes in, that disrupts things so you're not taking the old stuff with you. I'm laughing because my closet like exploded too, and I had to get rid of so many old clothes, but I needed to, because I didn't want any of those old clothes either. I don't know why I was like hanging on to so many clothes too. I just haven't cleaned out my closet in forever, but that's kind of the perfect thing that you can do right now, is get rid of stuff that's not in alignment with who you are now. Because we have evolved and shifted so much, even in the past like 3 months, that now you can kind of take a look around right now and just see what you can release to let the new in, because the new needs space to come in. What you're asking for is ready for you now. Just really let the shifts happen, let go of the old, out with the old, in with the new. At the same time, don't burn down the old, because you'll really, this is a lot of fiery energy. You can easily get into fights or get super frustrated with what is here right now. But that's also why I like tapping into the true sky, because then you can kind of get into that higher alignment, that peaceful flow with what is actually for you. What is worth your time? What is not worth your time? Because at the end of the day, your attention creates worlds. This is your time to just really be so in tune with your story and your own personal, your own personal story that you want to create, which is I can also help you with what's in my subscription. That's the Just Do It challenge. And you being able to amplify your field and affect the field with this new story that you want to create. This is where you can take a second and go inward instead and really reconnect with your story. And what is the story that you want to start seeing in reality? Because this is powerful emotional energy that what you send out is what you're going to get back. So this is your time to not get frustrated with what is. You actually make sure you're honing in your energy and you're breaking free from the old reality that you don't want to create. That's not coming with you. Then you can get into that higher alignment again, and direct your energy where it's going to serve you. Because this is like the Ace of Cups energy too. So you can get back into that higher alignment. Just bring the focus back to you. Fill your own cup. Do the things that make you happy, joyous, excited, that reconnect you more so with your higher self. And so you know what you want to pour more of your energy into. And what's not a part of that is where you can set up those boundaries. This is also a time to reconnect with your own spirituality, your own morals, And this can be a time where strong soul connections are really coming in too. So you are the change, the change is always within, when it comes to reality creation, you go within first and then you go externally and you realize what you can shift and change within. And then you go external. Okay. So these both go, hand in hand. This is definitely an alignment test. So you'll know wherever you're out of alignment. And then wherever you're out of alignment, that's up to you to take courageous acts to really make the change. Because you can get really lucky with this energy to make the change. This is like where you can make a lot of progress in the upcoming year ahead. If you just plant that seed, if you just, take that action that is more from that embodiment of your higher self. And yeah, it's just in alignment with your bigger dream. So let's get into all the signs. All right, Aries, I'm redoing your reading because I took a drink of coffee and, I had a whole thing of coffee and I was so hyper with it. And I was saying, okay. So we're landing the plane, grounding this one down. And that's probably something that you should be doing, actually. With all this fired up energy, it's kind of like we're getting out of the cave. We're ready to hit the ground running. And this is a great time to do that. And I love how right before we do that, Mars, which rules you, is conjuncting Saturn. So we are getting crystal clear on our vision, our structure, our businesses, any kind of structure that you have in your life to, and maybe this is a good time to create one. So you can have a really strong, steady structure towards your new goals, towards your new dreams, towards your new vision. And yeah, this is a good time to prioritize those new visions because this is the time where we're starting the new. And I love Mercury on Neptune because this is the time to dream big and really connect to the quantum. If you visualize, I'm going to leave a Brian Scott meditation in the description or in the comments because this meditation is like if you it's very it's very it's like kind of like being on like hallucinating, but like you don't have to take anything to hallucinate because it has like breathing techniques and everything. So you can really, it really awakens your third eye, which is this card that came out. This is what happens to your third eye with that meditation because you can really travel to future timelines and realities and really connect to that frequency and that life and start to embody it now. And that's going to be the perfect thing for you to do because our realities already exist. Our most desired reality already exists. It's just about shifting your vibration to that reality so you can line up with it. I don't know if you've seen Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, but that's pretty much it. She changes her internal world. She knows what she wants, and then she takes one radical action, or it's either a radical action or just an action that they wouldn't like, that is just sporadic. I forget what they say in the movie. It's just like one super improbable act. That's what it is. That gets her to shift her timeline into where she's famous into where she has this skill, where she's successful. And every single timeline is a little bit different. Such a cool movie, though, by the way. That's such a good movie. If you want to know about quantum shifting, that's a good movie to look at. And this is the time to do that. Maybe if you want to, so if you have a big dream, goal, or vision, this is the time to do something bold, do something courageous. Be that bolder, more courageous version of you that goes after, that has what you want already. This is the time to just step into that higher level of embodiment and just start being it. And cut out anything that's not, because it's time to let go of the old, any big cycles that have been needing to end. And maybe it's obvious what needs to go because things could be very, very chaotic right now. with this stuff happening in your first house. So let go of the old so you can make space for the new and the fresh, and, be very excited. And again, it's very easy to tap into your higher self and the quantum and dreams and really receive from the universe with what is really right for you. Just know that you will definitely be triumphant. See, I love how there's a 7 on this card. That's like he's triumphant in the year of the fire horse towards his big goals, dreams, and visions, and what he sees in his mind, because 7 has to do with our dreams and what we connect to in the quantum. So if you don't know, our imagination is a quantum manifestation tool, and if you can see it in your mind, that is a reality. You can hold it in your hand. Bob Proctor quote, I love him. And you are upgrading into that higher version of you. The Emperor came out. This is that powerful divine masculine energy that knows what he wants, will go after it, will go conquer it. And it's very directional. It's kind of like when you cut everything out of your life that's not coming with you into this new era, it's going to be very easy to be very directional and to really achieve what you are seeing in your mind already. And let me read the storm for you. This looks like an awakening. So you are probably currently right now just like really collapsing old timelines within, shaking out, with this like chaos energy in your 12th house, from your higher self, really releasing the past at that higher soul level so that's like deep processing. We don't know like all our past timelines and everything, but if you've been having wild dreams, that's like, all that work that you're doing to collapse the timeline so you can go where we have never been before, because this is completely new energy, and all of our destiny timelines where we get to go towards the new, and it's awesome. But it's unpredictable. But when you're going towards the new, that's your Dharma timeline. It's not supposed to be predictable. Okay, so the storm, possessing an energy much like the Tower's Tarot. Tarot Tower? Okay, the Tower card. The storm undoes all that is. Everything that was solid, unknown, and relied upon is stripped away by the winds of fate. The ground becomes the sky becomes the center, then the center disappears. I love this. Okay. I love that energy. Okay. Because it gets you into that higher alignment with who you truly are. The storm is a great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on this path, no matter our age, wealth, or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. Their disturbing howls stir anxiety and make it impossible to see and think straight. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the storm, you will lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter and a reliable friend. When all else fails, go within. There for a moment, you settle into the eye of your storm. So connect to your higher self. Summon the energies that you want to experience within, and then you will always be able to connect with that externally and to see your path moving forward. So just know, like, the storm always just brings that awakening and that upgrade. So you release like what's dead and gone within. So you really get into that higher alignment with what's actually for you. So let the new awareness come in, because it's really going to empower you. Then you can take action and go full steam ahead towards everything that you want. All right. Thank you so much, Aries. Oh, and if you would like to check out my YouTube community, it has all the tools that you need to step into a higher level of embodiment and to start amplifying your own story and your own reality that you want to create, your own structure of your reality that you want to create into the field, so you can get way more focused on that instead of any chaos. All right. Thank you, Aries. All right, Taurus, this is a powerful one for you. You might not be getting a ton of sleep, or there could just be a lot of action in your dreams. And this is powerful because this is releasing a lot of old timelines that aren't coming with you from past lives, from yeah, just the past. And it's time to let it go so you can really get reconnected to this higher vision, to your higher self in a very powerful way. This is a time where you might be closing out massive cycles, really letting it go, seeing what maybe really becoming familiar just with what cannot come with you moving forward, what is not in alignment with your biggest dreams possible. And this is a time where you can really connect to your higher self and really receive a lot of inspiration and insight. This is a time to meditate and connect to the quantum. If you can see it in your mind, then that's a reality that you can create. You just have to make a structure for it and prioritize it and work towards it every single day. So if you're seeing a timeline that you're super, super pumped up about in your mind, that is a reality that can happen. So it's time to make a manifestation board for it. It's time to write it down, make a meditation for it. If you need help with that, you can check out my YouTube community. And there's a lot of tools in there that will get you to start amplifying your own story, that will start getting your own story into your subconscious. So you start creating that in a more powerful way. And yeah, it gets you to start creating your story and amplifying your story out into the field versus amplifying the past or any fears, and you can let that go and start focusing on what you do want to create. So it's a great time to release what's not serving you anymore, any subconscious fears or limitations. Maybe you're really becoming aware of where you might have held yourself back. Where did you not allow yourself to step into this higher level of embodiment? And you're recognizing more power that's within you that you've always had the ability to embody now. And you've done all of the work, and now it's time to anchor that vision, anchor that embodiment so you can be a powerhouse moving forward. And yeah, it's time to really receive, any ideas, people, connections could be coming your way that help you go towards this big dream, goal, and vision. So definitely plant the seeds and connect to your higher self with what do you really want to plant. So yeah, you're stepping into your power. I love this. This reminds me of the Aquarius Leo axis. Oh, I see. And that's fun because that's your 4th house and your 10th house. So there might be some ways that you're releasing, your comfort zone with like where you were, comfortable before, but maybe you're feeling that like, antsiness, or maybe you're feeling that fire and you're feeling where more of your power wants to come out, where you might have repressed it before. But now it's time to let it roar, because now it's time to kind of innovate and do things differently out in the world and to see like how far that takes you. The sword, there are strong ideas coming your way. So there's a lot more clarity with balancing out the light and the dark, and then having an awakening like that, because when you do look at the light and look at the dark, you can usually unify them in some way. Then you kind of get to this higher level of awareness and you set yourself free. It's like everything that you held yourself back from in the past, all these spilled cups, that's not holding you back anymore. We're not looking at the spilled cups anymore because these cups were always there. Your big dreams and visions and goals were always there. We were just focused on this, but now we're not. We get to focus on that. And it's kind of like it's the venom that you need right now. And maybe, yeah, just that facing those deeper underlying things so you can allow the big change to happen. So you can allow the transformation to happen, because the venom always reminds me of the snake, where you just shed and you transform and you release those emotions and you just get a little bit more aware of what's been holding you back. And then you allow yourself to fully step into your power. And that's very exciting. Know that what you're asking for is ready for you. And it's just time to clean things out, make some space, step into that higher level of embodiment, and then the world is yours. And if you would like help with that, you can check out my subscription on YouTube. I put a bunch of quantum manifestation tools in there, but also the Just Do It challenge is a perfect way that you can start taking action that is in alignment with your higher self. And you just start taking small steps every single day. So you start embodying your higher self. And also, so you start amplifying the story that you want to start telling. And it's very important that we have our own story that we're amplifying out into the field, with our own heart coherence and with our own recognized abilities of reality creation. All right. Thank you so much, Taurus. And if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Gemini. Oh man, this might be drama with friends, lots of drama with friends. But, you got to let the drama happen and you have to really see who's in alignment with you now. It's so crazy how fast dynamics and relationships can change right now. I don't know. Have any of you been noticing that? One day you're kind of thinking one thing, and then the next day you're like, oh, you're kind of seeing something different about the overall alignment with the connection. It's very interesting. And this new moon might be really giving you some awareness about the relationships in your life. Yeah. Like what you didn't see before, you might be becoming more so aware. Mercury is still on Neptune right now. So you might be a little hazy in general because Mercury rules you. And on Neptune, it's easy to kind of get lost in La La Land, Delulu land, which is powerful. But, with friendships, sometimes I would say don't give a friend a ton of money right now or something like that. But yeah, with Mercury on Neptune, though, this is the perfect time to connect to your higher self and to visualize that future timeline that you want to start creating, because it is super, super easy when your ruler is on Neptune. All the fields are accessible, every single one. If you want to contact the other side, the dead, the future timelines, the higher realms, it's all easily accessible. There you go. And it always is. But yeah, it just takes that amount of practice, I guess, to really be able to do it easily. So you're taking a big look at your hopes and your dreams and your visions for the future. And you're seeing what do you need to take seriously in order to achieve that. And at the end of the day, if you can see it in your mind, that is a reality that is already there, already created. It is more so about vibrationally aligning with that and internally changing your internal world so you can start making the right choices, decisions, and actions that are in alignment with that timeline. And yeah, so that's the perfect time. This is what you can do right. I had too much coffee after this. One sec. And I got guidance to look at my notes for something for you. So yeah, being a sovereign creator is such an important thing. So make sure you're not relying on your friends too much for approval with creating this or creating that or posting this, not posting that. At the end of the day, you're going to get that guidance from yourself. And it's good to hear other people's opinions, but a lot of the times, people's opinions can sway you into a path or direction that's not the best for you. So at the end of the day, it's good to get back into yourself, get back into your own heart, and really pay attention to what is good for you, what is good for your next action moving forward. Because yeah, you can have major just clarity now. You are getting in touch with the bigger vision. The Queen of Swords always reminds me of someone on the mountaintop. She's been through it, out of all the queens, she's the one that has gone through all the swords. So it's not the easiest journey. But with that journey, there is clarity. There is a lot of clarity with what is for you, what is not for you. So it's time to just trust that now and to commit to your vision. With Mercury that's going to be conjuncting Saturn in a couple days, this is the time where you will release the old cycles, release the old stuff, make space of what's not for you anymore so you can commit to the new. And once you release like everything that's not for you, you will see how much that raises your vibration immediately. Like literally, like even just doing it's so crazy. I did this somatics and chakra clearing. And I did not know how much that purges like emotions from your system. It is like wild. But I was like, like hitting these emotions throughout the day after that. I'm like, why'd I do both at one time? But like after, like it totally raised up it released me from the old timelines. So realize how much like emotions just releasing in general releases you from those old timelines. And then you can have so much freedom and flexibility and access to what is already there for you. Your dream is already there. It's just really stepping into that higher level of embodiment and allowing yourself to have it. So yeah, there's things that you might not have seen before that now you're getting clarity on. And once you have clarity, you can really let that go. It's time to speak up with more of your truth. And maybe you want to start doing this online. It's really powerful when you start doing that, just speaking what's on your mind, saying it out loud, saying it with your chest, because that can really connect you to like who's for you and scare away who's not, not scare away, but that's how you attract who's really for you. And when you start using your throat chakra more, you get more so connected to your higher self and your vision, because you're also planting seeds with this biggest dream, with who you've always wanted to be out in the world, with your legacy, with your reputation, and getting into that highest alignment possible with what you were always here to do. And your soul is probably just like speaking to you so strongly right now. So you really listen and prioritize that. But yeah, you're finding your village. So, the village is here. And when the village card comes out, it's like sometimes we get booted out of the village, but that's to find our new village. It's like we kind of get booted out and then we got to go on this hike, but then we find our actual village who we're supposed to be with. And that's very important for you right now. And that's how you will actually make all the magic happen that you want in a very easy, effortless, co-collaborative way. Because the 11th house is where you can make all your dreams happen in such an easy way because of connections and opportunities, and things just come to you that help you go in that direction. So yeah, it's time to get crystal clear and focused on what you want. I love how this is a fire horse too. Lots of horses coming out with these readings. And once you clear out everything that's not for you, you can be super directional. So your path is always going to feel, when you're on the right path, it will feel smooth. It will feel like you're in flow. It'll feel like you're just it's effortless, it's easy, it's aligned. And when your energy is scattered and all over the place and it feels like you're pushing or forcing, that's not your path. That's not your direction. So you're getting in touch with your path and your direction, and you'll be able to go really fast. And it all has to do with your alignment first. All right, Gemini. And if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. And if you would like help getting into alignment with your biggest picture, stepping into this highest level of embodiment, really becoming a sovereign co-creator and getting really in touch with your story that you want to create, I have the Just Do It challenge up in my subscription, and I'm adding more and more to my subscription. But this is very powerful for the year of the fire horse energy. So you start taking action. So you don't sit on that idea. So you really just start creating your reality in alignment with your highest self in an autopilot way almost. All right. Thank you so much, Gemini. OMG, Cancer, this is a massive one for you. This is time for a whole new era with your 10th house, which is who you are out in the world. What are you known for? What do you want to be known for? What has been holding you back from doing and being who you really want to be out in the world? Because it's time to let all of you out. You know, it's time to step into the most powerful version of you, the most powerful version of that next level of embodiment. And it's time to take charge. This is going to be a great time to really look at your long-term dreams and goals and to really strategize and prioritize them. Maybe make, a vision board or make some sort of structure for it. And Mars crossing Saturn, it's like anything that's not in alignment with that bigger vision and that bigger dream. And also your Dharma timeline, because you could be kind of elevating into a bigger soul purpose and mission right now, and really receiving a lot of messages from your higher self. So you get in alignment with that higher path. So what I like to do also with like manifesting, like, especially right now, because everything's changing and everything's shifting so much, it's like, yes, you can have your vision of your overall like destiny that you want, but at the same time, being in the present moment and saying, God's plan and just take me there, take me, on my highest possible destiny and see where I go, because that's God's plan. That's going to take you to the highest timeline possible anyway, where you will be the most fulfilled versus like what the ego says is the most fulfilling. So it's like a balance in between those. But this is a time where you might really be balancing those out. So instead of being too rigid with what you fully want for your future, definitely leave it open for more to come to you, more insights, more downloads, new inspirations, new perspectives, even that will kind of open up your world to what else is possibly out there. And that can be really exciting, when you get aligned with your Dharma timeline and you kind of, when you get aligned with your Dharma timeline, it's going to be a lot of fun either way. The ninth house, Sagittarius house, is like very fun, very exciting. Let's go. Be optimistic, really connect to your, higher self, embody that vision within, and then you'll see it externally. And you can flow towards it pretty easily and effortlessly. And you might be getting a reality check with work or, what you've been doing so far out in the world. And this would be a time where you're ending a big cycle, but that's so you can make room for the new. And as soon as you let go of the old cycle, the new can really come in, because we are exiting that heavy cycle of karmic, for the past 25 years, we've been dealing with heavy karma, but we're just getting out of that. So what you're dreaming with your big goals, your big visions, maybe building that universe or building that empire. I don't know why I said building that universe. That is yours, and it doesn't have to be hard. It can actually happen in alignment and very smooth and effortlessly. And when it happens super easy, when you're in alignment and when you're just allowing your creativity to flow versus then you allow your energy to be kind of more focused and on your right path versus trying to control and force and push an outcome. Maybe that's not the right direction. If you're trying to push something and force something and control something too much, it's a good dance to have that balance with that back and forth with your feminine energy and the masculine energy. And that's kind of actually what, did I say that in the beginning? I like to look at tropical as the masculine energy, true sky as the feminine energy. This is the powerful, divine feminine energy that is coming in. I think I did. But so you could be receiving a lot of big visions and just be open. don't push things too hard. Know that things will reveal themselves with your bigger direction and where you're going. And then you'll know what you want to commit to. What do you truly value? What can you see yourself doing every day? And anything that's not in alignment with that, let it go. So you can let in the new creations. So yeah, there's a lot of stability coming in. The Hierophant came out. This is like the Taurus card. So I see this as like material success, but it comes from with what you truly value and being in alignment with that. And you making slow, steady progress every single day. And it just brings you that abundance. And also at the same time, this is some sort of like higher, you could be committing to some sort of higher knowledge path. The ninth house is higher knowledge, spirituality, and kind of learning new things about the world, expanding your worldview so you can get a better, clear vision of what you truly value. And yeah, that could be opening you up, but you're stepping into your power fully. And it's your power in a different way, though, because the fertility card, the feminine energy card, came out reversed. So where you didn't have full access to the feminine energy, or you weren't allowing it to completely flow out into the world, now you're able to. And it's all about finding that new balance. So where you were too locked up in your masculine energy and you felt like you had to force, plan, control, structure, yada, yada, your feminine energy wants to make it easy for you, wants you to flow into that next timeline. So it's time to just really get in touch with that new seed that wants to be planted too, because I think there's a new seed that wants to be planted that's from your heart. That's definitely been in your awareness for a while. Maybe something that you've even been working on for a while. But it's time to unleash that out into the world and see what can happen from there. Because yeah, that's how you get your energy, your feminine energy to flow too, and your life force energy to flow is by planting that new seed. And it's like whatever you create from the heart with the 8 number is what's going to bring you that steadiness for that abundance for the long term, that money for the long term. I don't like just saying abundance anymore because I want to say get that money, so, because if you want it, it's not, bad. But yeah, whatever you're creating from the heart is going to bring you lots of like legacy, long-term stability, a foundation for years to come. And it's going to allow you to really step into your power fully, where you weren't able to before. Yeah, lots of money things coming in because this reminds me of the Aquarius Leo axis with the South Node in Leo right now, North Node in Aquarius. But yeah, you're balancing that out at a higher level where you're releasing maybe the old like ways your ego might have blocked you off to abundance, but now you're like having this evolutionary vision with who you truly are at that ancient soul level. And it's going to allow you to bring in more abundance the more you just allow your life force energy to flow and out into the world. So you start magnetizing people, money, situations, opportunities, all to you. And that is what's going to sustain you because you're finding the new stability and it's coming from your heart. Again, that's a heart, right? Oh, wait, no, that's a boulder. But it looks like a heart. Let me read the sustainer. I always thought this was a heart in this card. Let me see. The sustainer, the peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver, the sustainer, sorry. The second archetype in the trio of existence works behind the scenes, tending to the task of life. They cultivate the gardens, pay the bills, keep the meals warm, and mouths sweetly fed. The sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start to or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. Yet they have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve earth resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. It's take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. Okay, so yeah, you are finding out what sustains you back in a new way. And this might be a time where you're closing out old relationships and old ways of being, old ways of sustaining yourself, because you're allowing yourself to move in a whole new way where you can really, that is in alignment with your life force energy that allows you to fully step into your power. And yeah, the Taurus energy is all about sustaining too. It's like finding those resources. Taurus energy is like what's in your fridge, what's around your house, what is really, really sustaining you? What are the relationships that are really sustaining you? So this is a very important question during this new moon. And yeah, set your intentions with what your relationships, love, life, your long-term direction look like for you. And then, yeah, let the magic happen. Get clear with it in your mind and let the universe surprise you. All right. Thank you so much, Cancer. And if you would like help with that, actually, you can check out my subscription on YouTube. I help you step into this higher level of embodiment, and I help you really start amplifying that story that you want to create out into the field, out into the universe. So you really start doing that every single day. And eventually it's almost like autopilot. And it's just allowing your life force energy in you to move in a completely different way. So you start achieving everything that you truly want. All right. Thank you so much, Cancer. Hi, Leo. We are back. We are so back. We have entered our villain and hero era all at the same time. We just get to decide ourselves now, like whatever we want to embody more of. But we have so much access to our life force energy, and we can flow and we can move and we can create in such new, exciting ways that is fully in alignment with our higher selves and our deeper knowing of who we truly are now at that soul level. And that's very exciting. It's kind of like, yeah, it's very freeing, you know? And now we feel fired up and confident and ready to go and take action out in the world. And this is the time to really get in alignment with our Dharma timeline. What are you here for? What do you come here to do? What are you passionate about? Because that is always going to be the direction that will take you towards your Dharma timeline, towards your purpose. Passion is the compass that will take you towards your purpose. And so if you're confused, that's okay. We are entering a whole new era, and we don't really know what this whole new era is even going to look like. And we probably won't for a couple of years. So it's good to just take it day by day, follow your passion, see where it takes you. And yeah, just commit to that life that you've always wanted to live, you know? You're probably receiving strong messages from your higher self. Like that is possible. Any limiting beliefs that you've had before that were holding you back, being uplifted, you know, your energy is a naturally very strong healing vibration. You are here to power and uplift people and really find people that really resonate with who you truly are, you know, or that resonate with your resonance. And they'll just come in naturally. Yeah, I love that. Mentor and healer. Yeah, you've been lit up. We went through this like shedding of the skin, being lit up from the inside out, letting go of everything. So now it's time to fly, and we can see in the dark. So we know what's for us, what's not for us. And it's so funny. Like I was talking to my Leo rising friend, and it's like, God, we have done a lot of work, because we are talking about this one situation and we're like, we can see the problem immediately. But no other sign has gone through this dense of a karmic clearing in their eighth house, I think. I'll have to look back the last time Saturn and Neptune in Capricorn in like the late 1980s for Gemini risings, I guess, would be the last time. So they did that way back then. But yeah, that was the last time Neptune and Saturn were together going through this like cycle. And yeah, I'd have to double check that though. That was impressive that I even just did that. Um, so yeah, you can pick up the vibes. You can sense what's for you immediately. You can sense what's not for you. And it literally is a vibe. You are tuned in at a whole nother level, and you just like you see in the dark. You can truly, truly see in the dark. And now it's allowing you to fly, but it's allowing you to fly in a way where you're a healer. You're here to help uplift and raise others up and to free them from their own like dense stuff that they can be freed from, because we've freed ourselves from it. We've been through it. We've really gone the deepest possible, and it's been heavy work, but we're out of it. So many cards just came out. I'm so pumped up with it. So now that we're truly in alignment with our deeper soul essence, how can we start? Like, how can we plant a seed from that place that's going to bring us that deeper fulfillment? And again, you have to be it first, be internally, and you have to internally hold that vibration first before you even see it externally, before you can attract it to you. So it's all about you realizing your power of, the emotional alchemy that you have done in the past, and you can scale the vibrational scale of consciousness, the levels of energy scale, so you can choose what reality you want to start creating. And it all starts from within, you recognizing your power to change and transmute, so you can start amplifying your energy out into the world and really attracting the right people, places, things, opportunities, and being in your heart, because that makes your signal stronger, so you can attract all that towards you. So creation can be in a very effortless and easy flow. 3 major arcana cards came out, so that's so weird. But some of us might be still comfortable, like in our comfort zone, and maybe we're slowly getting out of it. But remember that vision. Remember the vision when we were in the cave, when we but now it's time to come out. And now it's time to take action on it, because we got all that fire that we're really feeling to commit to that vision, start making moves, start taking action. It's time to shake off the dust and to really release ourselves. We're not going back, we're going forward, and we are awakened. And this might be a time where you receive extra guidance and insights, and just like a lightning bolt of an idea from your higher self, like this way, this is the direction. If you're feeling passionate about it, go in that direction, commit to that direction, because you know what you want to commit to. The Hierophant is the Taurus card. It's like, what you want to commit to, what you truly value. Maybe some of you are learning something new. And you could be traveling abroad, going back to school, learning some different alternative way of studying something. Spiritual practices. The Hierophant is all about spiritual practices too, and learning soul lessons. Yeah. What else was the Hierophant? I heard somebody say something about the Hierophant. I forget. Okay. But yeah, this is a whole new beginning. So get ready to conquer the world. Look how big this lady is. And this lady literally looks like my mom too. It is so weird. And there's another card in this deck that looks like my sister. But yeah, she's standing on the world. She's ready to conquer the world. You don't know how easy it's going to be to achieve your goals and dreams. So you just have to hold that vision of what you truly want. And yeah, fulfillment of dreams, fulfillment of your wishes. And that's leading to the new foundation, home, family. If some of you are manifesting like a home and a family and a community and a whole new foundation, this is the time where you're getting into alignment with that. And actually, I was almost going to post this reel the other day. I'm going to post it, but it is great to start all over sometimes, because some of you might be starting all over with the Tower card coming out. Because when that happens, when everything gets burned to the ground, and this has happened with so many people that like the people that have the lowest lows have the highest highs. So like Steve Jobs, Martha Stewart, Robert Downey Jr., there's a bunch of other people that have hit all the way to the bottom and they've had to completely start over. But this is powerful. And then they reached new heights after they did, because when you do that, you release everything that wasn't in alignment, because you've gone on a journey, you have grown, you have learned so much more about yourself and who you truly are. And now you are in that true core resonance with who you truly are. So now you're able to get rid of all the stuff that was just in the way, distractions, just petty stuff, like all the stuff that wasn't in alignment. And the slate is clean. And now you get to direct all your life force energy and your attention towards what you do want. And it's very directional and it's very powerful. And then you can go a lot faster, a lot quicker than you ever did in the past. And you just start attracting in people, places, things, opportunities, not places. You can't attract places towards you that are also in that true core resonance of who you truly are. So some of you might, if you are completely starting on page 1 in some aspect, it's a good thing, because you're really getting into that true higher alignment with your higher self, and you're going to be able to build higher and faster and a lot stronger, and you're going to go way higher than before, and you're going to have a lot more enjoyment in life, because when you get to build your life in true resonance with who you truly are, with your true coherence, then it's a lot more enjoyable, because you're building a life that truly is, for you. Versus most people have a life that is built from fractured coherence, So they're kind of aligned this way, but not really aligned over here. Like, so aligned with family, but not really aligned with work. But that, where they're not aligned here, it does affect over there, especially with the energies that we're moving into. So kind of the only way to get into true, like building a life from that full on coherence with who you truly are is starting over, and this is the era to do it. And I think that's why a lot of Leo risings are being forced to do that, because that's that's how you will be able to be the most powerful in this new era, which you are definitely meant to be. So very, very exciting for you. That was such an exciting reading. Okay, healer, you are the healer. You are the mentor. You are meant to soar and fly high and really believe in your fiery dreams, goals, and visions that wants to be fully birthed right now. And you feel it in your heart, in your soul, and in your life force energy. It's time to take action. It's time to fully let that out and put it out into the world. Because this is a massive new beginning, but it's a massive new beginning on your Dharma timeline, where you're building a life from that whole soul resonance. It is the fulfillment of the abundance in the wishes that is just flooding into your life. Is that like, oh yeah, it's just a little treasure chest sitting on there. Like, that's fun. And then, yeah, towards a new family foundation with the 3 major arcana cards. So yeah, you're ready, and it's time to go. All right. Thank you so much, Leo. And if you would like help with stepping into a higher level of embodiment, definitely check out my subscription on YouTube. This really helps you start creating your higher timeline, more so on autopilot, in alignment with your life force energy, in alignment with your higher self. So you're just taking action from your higher self. And the more that you do that, the more you are allowed to embody your higher self. And you can see massive progress in, especially this year, pretty quickly, especially with this energy coming in. All right. Thank you so much, Leo. Hey, Virgo, how's it going? Okay, so this is an intense one for you. And I will not lie, and it's yeah, I was just talking about this today with my Leo rising friend. It's like, oh yeah, Virgos are just getting ready for what the hell we went through for the past, since 2023. And it's heavy. You guys are entering the cave period a little bit. But with that, you're going to awaken to so much more power that was dormant, that it's going to be very, very, very liberating on the other side. And you can listen to, Leo's, how I ranted about it on the other side. So you can be excited for that. Know that that is coming in 2 years, or maybe less, because Saturn moves fast through Aries. But this one's very aggressive for you, because you guys, and I have a couple of Virgos in my life right now. It is very aggressive with Aries energy. It's like right in your face. You're dealing with it now. It could be a little bit more dramatic. It could be you need to cut, sever, release, old relationships, jobs, things that you might be hanging on to, whether it is like homes, investments, just certain things that you've been hanging on to, but it's time to let it go. Whatever is not in alignment with who you truly are at that deeper soul core level, you are going to be letting go of over the next couple of years. But it will be liberating, and it'll be just so liberating. And if you end up moving a lot, it's kind of good. I mean, not saying that would happen with this transit, but that is like a big thing that happens with the 8th house, is completely changing up your life in some way. But it's powerful, because when you do that, you release all the old timelines that weren't for you in the first place. This is where you built any things you have, or relationships that you have that aren't in alignment. That's what you needed to release, so you could fully have love, life, relationships, a foundation that is in alignment with who you truly are at the deepest core soul level possible. This is a very obsessive house too, especially when it comes to relationships. And that's the fun part too, is that really strong soul connections could be coming in right now, and they are here to teach you something. And they can be obsessive, but realize all relationships are a mirror at the end of the day. And we go back to the mirror over and over and over again, so we truly see ourselves. So whatever you're obsessed about, that is something that you're going back to over and over and over again, so you truly find that true core resonance of who you truly are. So you truly see yourself. So don't project it onto the other person. This is something you need to go inwards and see yourself clearly with it, because every single thing that's within us is what we're projecting out onto everybody and everything. So if you're looking at something in some way, you just have to realize how much of that is something that you can heal or release within you. But you are going through a deep internal transformation. You are going to be shedding all the layers, getting rid of all the masks. And actually, I'm making an 8th house book. And it's going to be for everyone, with, how you can do this 8th house work and what to be aware of, so you can be, become magnetic. Because this is the most powerful house when you work with it, to magnetize everything and everyone that you want into your life. And yeah, I know it like the back of my hand now. And I have so many tools to work with this area of life. And yeah, you and Virgos and Leos, I think, are the only ones for the next like 40 years or until Neptune by Saturn again, that will go through this amount of purging in their eighth house. So, I mean, it's awesome on the other side, but it was heavy. It was definitely heavy. And it was a little confusing too, because you have to go so deep. Definitely this is a big spiritual awakening, but this is where you haven't been really listening to yourself. The Nine of Cups came out reversed. So you haven't been listening to your own happiness and your own emotional fulfillment. And, you can't just keep up with the Joneses. You can't, just try to do things for other people to keep them happy. It's kind of like you're going deep right now to recognize who you truly are and what you truly want, what is going to fulfill you so deeply so you can have this new profound awareness and really liberate yourself and be more so in touch with your higher self and be so psychic that you're like, what is going on even now? You sense a tiny little vibe and it leads all the way to something deeper. And it's, really powerful. So know like your psychic gifts are definitely coming online, and it's powerful to work with anything that's of the occult. If you want to know anything that's basically the occult, I would start out with mysticism because that is the core foundation of everything. It's literally the core foundation of all religions and politics and sciences and spiritual practices. So just go to the root. And then you'll pick out what you want to study after that. But learning the core truths of mysticism is very, very powerful with this transit, because then you're learning how to navigate reality in a way that is working with the unseen. You're working with the energy first of reality, then you're getting to reality. So it helps to be very aware of the deeper underlying energies so you can have that awareness with how to navigate reality in a more powerful way. And this is a great time to release what's not serving you anymore. With Mars conjuncting Saturn, you're like, okay, we're going to get rid of these, we're going to adjust the finances. We're going to have that tough conversation in our relationship. We're going to face these deeper underlying things that we need to face so we can end it now, so we can release it, so you can allow in the new energies, because this is a ton of new energy that wants to come in, but it can only come in if you're letting go. So the dead end, realize what's a dead end. Where have you been pushing, controlling, forcing things too hard, where it's like, this isn't your path, it's time to let it go. When you're on your path, your path because it's very effortless, flowing and easy. And yeah, sometimes it's hard. It's not always effortless and easy, but for the most part, you're creating your reality in an effortless, easy way that is fun and enjoyable, and it feels expansive. And whatever's not is something you might want to be cutting out. So, and this is just giving you more awareness of who you truly are at that higher level. And there could be really strong soul connections coming in to help you out during this time. This is definitely a transit where you will have twin flames, high level divine counterparts, and all of that. And yeah, and also just any kind of relationship, whether it's business, romantic, friendships, strong partnerships that maybe come in and help you build a lot more prosperity. And and I like how it's kind of it's the prosperity that's always been yours, the prosperity that is from your ancestors, but it's they never received it, but you get to receive it now. But it's all about just doing that deeper emotional alchemy and the deep work during this eighth house transit, so it can really come into your life. What is emotionally fulfilling you and what's not emotionally fulfilling you? Because there's something that you're recognizing with this that you need to release, you need to let go of, so you can truly be happy. You know, we don't need to chase happiness externally through people, like stuff, like jobs, whatever's outside of us. Like, we need to summon that emotion within us first, and then it comes easily. The manifestations comes easily. The love comes easily. This is what you're finding. This is what you're finding, your true unconditional self-love and happiness. So you can magnetize all these things to you, and you don't have to push so hard. Because yeah, there's an old way of possibly making money or slow and steady progress that just needs to be like thrown out. It's not working. And it's time to be the pioneer of the way of the eighth house things. So love, money, relationships, and inheritances. Yeah, you're completely pioneering the new. And it's time to be open-minded, really open to a whole different world and whole different ways of doing all of those. So go deep, go into the underworld. You're going to find a lot there. It's scary. Let those emotions come up. Let those shadows come up. Face the darkness. It will liberate you at the end of the day. So let me read the underworld. Let's see. But at the same time, sometimes, you know, with Neptune here, you're not going to see it until you learn that lesson, you know? That's what Neptune did. It's like, okay, like, you know, you'll be so in love with this relationship, or so like, you know, into the story of the relationship or the job or whatever, until it's just time, until you're not passionate about it, until you fully see it, until, yeah, it's, you know, time. So yeah, you definitely are on a spiritual journey too. But yeah, I liked Neptune in my eighth house overall. So it's not like, I'm not trying to make it sound bad or anything. Okay, the underworld. The nightmare, the ordeal, the bottom. There is no time to mince words. The archetypal territory of the underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm, which we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at any cost. My family has so many Virgos, so I can't, yeah, they're all going through this right now. It is the darkest shadow realm, which we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at all costs. Try as we might, the darkness will pull us into its depths. Through the disturbing dream images, unexpected accidents, illness, war, conflict. I thought I was dying for a couple times during this transit. You're not dying, you're just awakening. Especially with this energy, you might feel like you're dying at one point. Because Aries is a lot more aggressive than Pisces. Not visiting the underworld or denying its existence altogether is what gives its dangerous power. Traversing it forces us to bow humbly to the greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength we previously underestimated. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amidst our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. So yeah, you are a transmuter right now. You're transmuting all the dark into light, and that is your job. And the more that you do that and just go deep and do the work, the easier that this whole transit will be. Because the eighth house lessons, we either learn it through other people or we do the work ourselves. So it's very powerful to just do the work yourself as much as you can. And at the same time, a lot of lessons just have to be learned through other people, and there's no way around it. So don't go hide in a cave, because you might not even learn your lessons. But you're getting in touch with your oneness, who you truly are. You are in touch with the infinite and always have been. And you're just releasing all the blocks that have stopped you from fully being connected with this. And this is a whole new beginning with that. So definitely set your intentions with the kind of relationships that you really want to experience. Visualize it. And yeah, set an intention for just powerful, unconditional self-love um, at this time too with this. And if you would like help stepping into a higher level of embodiment, definitely check out my YouTube subscription. This can definitely help you shift. And actually, and that has parts of my program that I put out, the Mystic Wolf Method, which definitely would have helped me at the beginning of this transit. But I've pretty much put so many techniques that I've learned over the past couple of years into that. So that would definitely help you focus on the right things during this time and break away from the relationships that you might be obsessed with, the money or whatever. Because yeah, this truly just gets you back into your power with looking within first, recognizing your ability to create, then looking out. And so there's a ton of emotional alchemy stuff in there, which is so, so important. This is a powerful time to recognize your ability to fully become a powerful sovereign creator. And you already have that power. You just have to recognize the tools that you have always had and start using them. All right, Virgos, thank you so much. And if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. All right, Libra risings. This is awesome. So this is a big new beginning in your house of relationships. And you're moving into a completely new era of relationships. So there might be a way that things are completely shifting, changing, and adjusting. There could be new perspectives. There could be random conflicts. But whoever you're letting go of at the end of the day, it is so you cut out who's not for you, so you allow in who is truly meant for you. Because this is a bit of a rough time right now, Jupiter is in your 10th house right now, but it's going to be trining all this fire stuff in the summer. So there might be a big clearing out of like friendships, certain relationships, could be romantic, certain endings, and just releasing. And just know if that's happening, if you're releasing that, then there's bigger, better, more exciting relationships that are going to be coming in that are so fun and just aligned with who you truly are. And yeah, they might be very serious relationships that you commit to for a very long time, lifelong friends or romantic relationships. And yeah, it's so don't get caught up in the drama. Just really know what you want to experience in relationships so you can kind of evolve into the relationships that are truly meant for you and attract in those relationships that are really meant for you. And yeah, this could have a lot to do with work too. Like, what work do you want to do that you truly love? This might be a time for you to get in that higher alignment with a job that's calling your soul, that's really more so in alignment with your deeper soul purpose and mission. And this could be a way to make if you are an entrepreneur, this could be a great time to make your work more fun. Maybe it's been a little too structured. Maybe it's been a little bit, just hanging on to the past instead of letting the new ways of restructuring come in. But yeah, and there might just be chaos in general, because when there's this much activity at the angle of your chart, yeah, there can be a lot of chaos. So let the chaos happen. So, whatever needs to be cleansed, whatever needs to be restructured, gets restructured in the way that's going to serve you the best in this new era. I like Venus in its home sign turning or making a sextile to Jupiter. So you're good either way. As long as you're optimistic, glass half full, you can let the endings happen. And so you can let the new beginnings really come in. But what you're asking, what you want, what you're asking for is already there. You're in that higher alignment already. You have done a big karmic release of the sixth house can tie us down into work, ways of, ways that we just move in our everyday lives that is like just keeping busy and that isn't in that higher alignment with our higher selves and with who we truly are, where now you're just truly getting into that, you're embodying more of your life force energy, so you can move in that higher alignment with who you truly are. And maybe it's a little bit more moment to moment. That's what I've noticed, is like it's actually more powerful to allow yourself to live moment to moment, to have the most creative energy and the most powerful effect and creative flow with your life force energy to create the life that you truly want. So, and time is so weird. Time is like so like weird. And time is speeding up, by the way. So like time is, just changing in general. But so the more that you release control, the more things can actually flow in a lot more of an easy, effortless way. So yeah, this is a great new moon to set your intentions with the work that you really want to do. How do you want to structure your everyday life that allows you to start living from that higher embodiment? So you just start being that person every single day. You're being that person. You're feeling the way that person does every single day. That allows that full on abundance to truly flow into your life in an effortless way. Because yeah, this is the time to just like hold the feeling and to let all the abundance just come in a very easy, effortless way, versus thinking you need to take a ton of action and force it and strive for it. It is more so, the more that you just find that alignment, the more those things come to you, and the easier things can kind of flow along. Okay, so yeah, you're going through some sort of gnosis, and you might have a certain gnosis about certain relationships, who's really vibing with you and who's not. Yeah, Mars crossing Saturn, it's time to cut out the relationships that really aren't serving you and just have that crystal clear picture of who you want to attract in. And I think you're awakening to your inner child in a major way. The eternal child came out. You're going to be running into connections, especially this summer. People that remind you of like your deeper soul essence. They kind of feel like home. They bring you back to that playfulness and lightheartedness. And they're just, there's an easy flow and synchronicity to them where it's like, yeah, very fun. So yeah, this is a time, there's Queen of Swords came out reversed. It's time to loosen up the boundaries, maybe loosen up control a little bit, really balance out your masculine, feminine energy, because the masculine energy the shadow of the masculine energy can try to hold on to control and to force things like so much right now. But where you're doing that is where it's not allowing that feminine energy to flow, to come in, where you're going to be more powerful right now if you're just lighthearted, if you find that playfulness, if you find that curiosity, that gets you in alignment with your higher self. So you get that inspiration, and you take that next step, and you make the choices that are in alignment with your higher self. So your life is being created from your higher self. Because yeah, there's some justice being played out too. And this could have to do with certain relationships, certain karmic relationships. They're just exiting. So you got to let them go. And it has nothing to do with you. So don't put it on you. This is just a new cycle that we're moving into. And the Queen of Swords reverse. Yeah, it's time to let the walls down a little bit. Queen of Swords reverse just reminds me of like kind of an ice queen with like really strong walls. Like what's that show called? Game of Thrones. Like with the huge ice wall up that doesn't let anybody in and just has to have it one certain way. When you're being like really like just, you're going to be pushed to flow. And the more that you allow yourself to flow from that gnosis, the more creative you are, the more you tap into that gnosis of that higher soul energy of the things that you already know. Our consciousness is changing. And if you want to look into this, human design describes this really well, how we're moving into 2027, the age of the year of the sleeping phoenix, the age of the sleeping phoenix, something like that. Oh yeah, there's a bird there too, flying, where it's hard to explain until you start doing it, but the body knows what it wants, what it needs first. And you just got to move from the body first. And then you let the body, or you let the mind catch up to what the body already knows. Because the body is tapped into the subconscious, which in the subconscious is like a quantum supercomputer. Like our minds actually only read one line of information at a time. It's like 40 bits of like energy versus our subconscious mind is like 100,000 bits of energy. It's something like way more, where it's just tapped into so much more than we know. It helps it. We get more so tapped into our psychic abilities, into our knowing of the future and the past, and it allows us to move in a more quantum way. So you're allowing the body to reinform the mind. It's because we can be so stuck in our limiting programs, like in the mind. So when you start moving from the body, the mind starts getting reprogrammed, and you're like, oh, that's how I was getting in my own way. Aha, okay. And you have all these aha moments. So it's hard to explain like how the body's consciousness reprograms the mind, but that's what happens when you start moving from the body. So don't resist the transformation that needs to happen. The transformation is going to liberate you, and it's going to be very, very exciting. And it's kind of funny with this transformation card. She's kind of like holding on tight to that rock, like, oh my God, I don't want to let go. But at the same time, when you just let go and you fly into the fiery wind, it can be very exciting and lead to exactly to what your heart and soul has been calling you towards. So yeah, this is a lot of moving on and letting go, but no, whatever didn't work out, whatever wasn't for you, there's so much better for you, and it is coming in. So it's time to definitely allow it in, and not let this heaviness of Saturn get to you, because sometimes that can happen, especially Saturn at an angle. We get so serious about life. But the more that you just kind of, allow yourself to be more empowered in this whole new way, you will head towards the new really, really fast, and you will find your passion and your fun and your gnosis and your inner child again. And it's like your inner child just wants to come back online really, really strong. All right, Libra, thank you so much. And if you would like help shifting into this new energy, you can check out my YouTube subscription. I have a couple things in there that will help you step into this powerful new embodiment, so you can start taking action in alignment with your higher self and following those like small nudges and impulses every single day, so you start embodying more of your higher self and that lighter, soulful, eternal child energy. And if you want more of a deep dive with completely shifting, then you can check out the shift, the Mystic Wolf method. I am so proud of that. And yeah, it is awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Libra. All right, Scorpio, this is a new beginning with your sixth house, which is your health, diets, routines, exercise. This is your work. And you might be going through a complete shift with this. Work is not going to be fun right now. Work is definitely going to be chaotic, but it's definitely an opportunity to actually zoom out, get back and look at the true sky, connect to the egregore of nature and the true sky versus the egregore of, tropical astrology, because this would be heavy. But if you just get into your playfulness, your lightheartedness, the fifth house is playfulness, lightheartedness, your inner child, and you awaken more to that, and you awaken more to your flexibility, the world can really open up for you. And from that flexibility and you really prioritizing your fun, your passion, your playfulness, your curiosity, and your lightheartedness, then it's like, then you can plant the seeds with what you do in your everyday life and how to structure your work, how to just let things restructure themselves. This is a crazy game of life, and the more you just don't get caught up in the drama, the more it just releases, it just goes. Because the sixth house does have to do a lot with karma, and this is kind of like through relationships or work that we take on or ways that we just create and structure our reality. that is from the, past programming or just whatever's in our DNA of not being fully empowered. That's kind of keeping us in those lower cycles of creation, where that's majorly being released from you right now. So there could actually be massive cycles ending, whether it is from work or certain relationships, like certain relationships that come into your life and they're just like a pain in the ass. And you're like, why is this person here? Why do I feel obligated to help them so much? And then, then eventually when the karma is served, you see them clearly. And, also they just go, it's like, okay, lesson learned. So you're definitely just clearing out the physical reality karma, and you're becoming very aware of what you need to let go of. And this is a good time to really take care of your health. This is a good time to move your body. You definitely want to be exercising and moving your energy with this. If your body's like getting tense and muscles are like kind of tensing up a lot, there's so much energy coming in right now. You really need to do somatics. You need to move that life force energy and get it kind of flowing. Because otherwise, it can really just make like your jaw tense and your back tense or whatever muscles, like whatever your body is purging. So you can release that density. And sometimes it's hard to realize that you need to do that. But yeah, when you just like do somatics and move your body, then it's like the tension releases because the life force energy just wants to flow. And you want to move in a different way. You want to start being embodied in a different way. And I was just describing this for Libra too. Like we kind of are moving into a new paradigm. And if you want to look into this, you can look into Human Design, Year of the Sleeping Phoenix or Age of the Sleeping Phoenix. I'm not sure. 2027, the energetic shifts that's happening. And it's like our body is upgrading and we're allowing ourselves to move from the body and the body's consciousness versus staying too stuck in the mind, because the mind will keep you stuck in old traumas and the karma and hanging on to control and the ego, where actually we need to get into the body to let that restructure the mind. And it's hard to describe like how that shifts things so much, like until you start doing it. But then you start getting these knowings from your own inner gnosis and your body's consciousness, because your body is the subconscious, which is connected to the field and everything and everyone and future timelines. And it kind of, it's like the subconscious is like a supercomputer versus the conscious mind is only like reading one line at a time. Like the conscious mind is only 5% of reality creation. The subconscious mind is 95% of reality creation. So when you allow yourself to move from the body, you are allowing yourself to move onto that highest timeline. And you don't have to know, you don't have to like logic it out. And you just feel it. And sometimes you can feel like very excited for no reason, because you're just allowing yourself to move in like towards your highest timeline. And then you start, seeing it and it's exciting. So it's a different way to work, but yeah, if you've been doing it, if you haven't been doing it, definitely try it out. It's very, very liberating when you allow yourself to do that. And then, it's time to start a new, it's time to reconnect with your inner child and your fun and your playfulness and your curiosity, and to, create your life for more fun. We get so serious, or we did get serious in the old paradigm the last 25 years when we were dealing with the heaviest amount of karma, but that is ending and we're entering our Dharma timelines. So we can have abundance, we can have success. It's time to raise the thermostat of what we possibly think that we can have in all areas of life: love, success, abundance. And it's all the internal things that are keeping us from the higher levels of all of that, that have been keeping us stuck and blocked. But now we're releasing that. And it's time to allow yourself for more freedom, for more fun, for more prosperity, for more excitement, more love, more whatever you really want. Like feel it and start like we were in a gray world before, and now we're entering like a multicolored acid world a little bit. And it's going to be very exciting, but you have to be in the body and you have to feel it first. And you kind of have to summon that feeling of what you want to experience first. And then it's easier to find it and attract it to you and all of that. Okay, so you are headed towards financial and material gain and changes and prosperity. And this is a great time to just follow your passion and your fun and your excitement and see where that takes you, because passion is the compass that your soul is guiding you towards. Like, it's like this way, this is the direction you got to go that will be the most fulfilling. And don't be afraid to start something new projects. If you are online social media creator, post that thing in the draft that you think is hilarious, or that you're like, will anyone else like it though? They probably will. Do those random impulsive actions that you just feel is right for you. So you can, just send out that kind of ignition and just try this new way of being in a whole new way. At the same time, I think there's a seed. Be patient for whatever seeds that you're planting right now. Because the sixth house, whatever you plant in the sixth house with your work, your diet, your routines, allow it time to shift, because it needs daily tending every single day for something to really grow. So if it could be a huge idea that is just like genius, and you almost don't know how genius it is. But if you plant the seed, it will grow. And if you just tend to it, your garden in your soil every single day, like, it will prosper. But it's all about tending to the soil every single day. Because, you have a vision. The King of Swords, like, he has this ancient wisdom that's just in him. That's so powerful. That's so like such a knowing. And it's time to trust that vision. And it's time to cut out anything that's not a part of that vision. Let it go. Let anything that's not a part of this whole new vision that you're getting for your life, let it go. Because you can have what you want. It is ready for you, but you have to make room for it. You have to allow this space. So this is interesting. The medallion, there's going to be a new way to make money in abundance. The ring, strong soul contracts could definitely be coming in. And these might be tied actually. So the ring comes with strong soul contracts might bring a new form of abundance. Like, strong soul contracts give you an offering, and it might be something completely new and different, but then you give it a little bit of time and you're like, oh, maybe let's try that out, but something's coming your way that is an offering. So definitely be open to the offering. And let me read the ring, because I really do love this card. This is kind of like soul commitments. It can definitely mean marriage and love. And let's see. Okay, the ring. The infinite, the wheel, the connection. The ring is an image of connectedness. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of, I'm just having deja vu. I was just telling my friends life is circular. I mean, time is circular. It's not linear. Rather than viewing life, same thing. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements, the ring challenges us to sense the infinite nature of our world, the experiences, the beginnings, the ends, the falling by the wayside, as we practice seeing others as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it's no surprise that a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses space, time, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto the archetypal image because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. It is the micro and the macro united. This card calls us to deepen connection with self, other, and the world at large. Meanwhile, there may be a literal ring waiting to be adorned on your finger. So very exciting. New like love, soul love can come in at this time. And you know what the soul love is because there's some sort of familiarity, or, if they're a twin flame or a divine counterpart, there's just that magnetism and that pull, and they make you feel alive like you never have before. And that happens because it's like you're reconnecting with more of your soul, like in the other person, like, you're recognizing each other at a higher level. So very, very exciting. I love that. Could be a new beginning with love and money. All right. Thank you so much, Scorpio. And if you would like help stepping into a higher level of embodiment with moving more so from your body and taking those actions every single day that get you aligned with your life force energy, because that's how you get aligned with your life force energy, is just taking those actions every day that is in alignment with your higher self. And then that allows you to step into a higher level of embodiment. And when that happens, you become, you just have a way more amplified field. So you can affect reality a lot more and create reality and magnetize in things towards you a lot easier. And yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Scorpio. And if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Oh man, Sagittarius. Okay, so you're getting a look at your 5th house now with the new energies with Saturn in there. Yeah, there's a lot of energy in there, and it's time to get familiar with the new ways of having fun. I literally remembered when Saturn moved into my 5th house, things just weren't as fun anymore. Things weren't as fun. Things were fun, then things were just not fun. This is the year that I moved back from Hawaii. And I'm like, why did I ever do that? I should have just stayed there. Maybe then things would have been more fun. But yeah, there can be a big readjustment there because you're letting go of the things that maybe were fun before, but now it's about that long-term gratification. You know, just the small impulses like drugs, sex, alcohol, just the short gratification ways of having fun, they're not going to be as fun. And, it is like a little bit more of a serious mode. So you focus more so on what your heart wants to do and what your inner child wants to do, because those are the things that are actually fun. At the end of the day. But sometimes we get caught up in just the impulsive ways of having fun, that we don't really get back to the heart and the core of who we truly are, and the more meaningful ways of having fun. So yeah, this would be a good time to cut out any ways that you're, excess partying or whatever. This is a great place where your life force energy really does want to flow, and you want to create something. So starting a long-term creative project is really great to do with this energy. If you're good at singing, making music, if you want to start creating TikToks, whatever form of creation, painting is really, really beneficial. Because that is the things that are more, gratifying for the soul. And also you could be building towards something. But at the same time, like the 5th house is where, just creative energy. So Steve Jobs built phones, and that was still creative energy. So whatever's fun for you to create, this is a great time to like start that project. And yeah. And at the same time, that you're being released from a lot of heavy, dense karma. You could be feeling like really more of yourself and, the core of who you truly are on the inside. So there's a lot more energy that wants to flow into these like creative directions, and you will be on your Dharma timeline as long as you go towards like where your heart is truly calling you, and you're creating for the greater good of yourself and for the highest good of all. And you're prioritizing those passion projects that you can see the vision and how they can go the distance, but it's going to take a little bit of time, energy, work, and every day, to go in that bigger direction. But at the end of the day, really focus on where your passion is. Where is your passion guiding you? Because that is taking you towards that bigger direction. Your passion is, passion is the soul's compass that is just saying, okay, over here, let's go. Because that you'll go on that little spiritual journey of what's going to be super fulfilling towards you, for you, and allowed you to have that soul growth and evolution in a fun way. Because at the end of the day, like the fifth house is super fun. At the same time, when you prioritize what the heart wants and what you want to create, you can be very powerful, especially with this, like the Jupiter trine that's going to be coming this summer. When you get connected to the heart and you start creating from the heart and moving in alignment from the heart, then you kind of have an amplified field of your own energy, your own pendulum, your own egregore, where you can start to affect reality with your own energy versus getting sucked into all the pendulums and egregores. So instead of going to a football game for having fun, know the reality that you truly want to create and that you want to manifest. What is your most exciting life? And start scripting that, start living that. Because if you get clear on that and you start manifesting your life from the heart, then you're going to be set free to actually go and do it this next summer. And it can be very easy, effortless, and fun. And it's putting you on your Dharma timeline. Towards purpose, towards meaning, towards adventure. And yeah, it's all about maybe just cutting out the stuff that's not in alignment with you anymore, not in resonance with who you truly are, because you're kind of getting more in touch with the core of your soul and your being in a whole new way, and you're coming alive in a whole new way. And it's time to cut out all the stuff that's not that anymore. Not in resonance with you anymore. That's the thing too, when we kind of go up in vibration, like the foods we eat changes, like what's fun to us changes. So many things change, and that could be happening to you right now. So you're going towards new passions, hobbies, interests, and it's taking you on this bigger adventure out in the world. But if you go in that direction, you can really head towards love and meaningful relationships and adventures that are very, very exciting for you. So the shapeshifter came out, and maybe you've been realizing where you've been kind of shapeshifting in your life. And sometimes we do this like because we hang out with this friend group or this friend group, and we're kind of like putting on different aspects of us. But we got to see how that might be fracturing our energy, or where we're creating our reality not from that complete resonance. When you will be the most powerful if you start creating your reality from that wholeness, from that create that full on resonance with who you truly are now. And I'm going to post a reel about this actually. And what sign was I talking about this for? I forget which sign. I don't want to go through the whole thing. Just watch out for the reel. But basically, there's so many people that have had to completely start all over in life. A lot of famous people who burned their entire empires down to the ground, like Robert Downey Jr., Steve Jobs. I think he was a big asshole at one of his companies. Martha Stewart definitely got in trouble. But what happened is they started from the ground. And when you do that, because you evolve and you grow and you learn so many lessons, they just grew into such like big people, and they have such big fields of energy. But at the same time, they weren't fully like in resonance with who they truly are, in coherence with who they truly are. They're not building their lives from complete coherence. Most people build their lives from fractured coherence. So they're in alignment over here, or they're in alignment over here, or not in alignment over here. So say they're in alignment at home, but they're not in alignment with work. That's what creates fractured coherence. And when you don't make the changes, then usually like just stuff gets more agitating. Your mind starts saying one thing, and so much energy starts going on with that, versus like really using your full life force energy towards what you do want and creating a life that is in full alignment with who you truly are and your coherence. And that's why when they all started out from base one, ground zero, they were able to build a life so much better and so much bigger and just in alignment with who they truly are. Um, After they burnt everything to the ground, I just was thinking like Robert Downey Jr. Literally lives in a round house, which is so smart. If you knew like how bad like it is to actually for energy flow to live in square boxes, it's not good for our energy flow. So he literally lives in, all like a round house in Malibu, like all the walls are round. But yeah, so building a life from complete coherence and wholeness, it amplified their fields even more. They were able to reach higher heights. And so that's why it's powerful to kind of rein in your energy and to kind of start getting in that full alignment, in that full coherence. Because, fire signs are all like amplified and like leaders and just sovereign creators that are leading the way, like starting this summer. And it's going to be very exciting because, yeah, you are waiting to get that reward and recognition for your talents, your skills, your knowledge, whatever you have to offer the world. And it's kind of like you had obstacles before, or there might be obstacles, but these are the changes that you need to make. The obstacles are just redirections or something you need to clear so you can allow like the true path to kind of be shown. But yeah, there are people like, waiting to connect with you with the three that came out, co-collaborations, people that just get it, people that are just vibing with you, people that are lifting you up more so towards your purpose and your mission. And it's important to go towards those people, and you will feel that. They'll make you feel pumped up about what you're doing. An offering might come your way during this. I actually want to read this card because I never read this card. And yeah, be open to accepting it, I guess. I like how this is kind of like a new moon too. But the world is opening up for you. Two major arcana cards. The world is opening up for you, but you have to recognize what you truly value and let that help you get into alignment. And maybe this is a time where you're studying something new, because sometimes the fifth house is like spiritual studies, like learning astrology, going back to, or yeah, learning any spiritual practice. And that can open up a whole new world for you that kind of takes you on this bigger adventure where you had one tiny little perspective of reality, and then it opens up a whole new reality for you. And then you get to see how big and how small the world is all at the same time. But you are in touch with some sort of vision. So it's important to prioritize that because you've probably gone through, some hard lessons in general, especially with the Saturn, Neptune stuff that you just got done with in the fourth house. So you do have this, the Queen and King of Swords, King and Queen of Swords kind of are the toughest out of all the suits because they have to go through all the swords. They go through heartbreak, anxiety, doubts, fears, all the uncomfortable sword aspects. But now there's this like great wisdom where you can actually start moving in the dark, and you are super psychic, and you could probably sense like vibes like super easily. Because I think the fire signs, like with the dense transit that just happened, like we can really move in quantum ways from the unseen. So it's important to trust that and trust the visions that you're receiving. If you can see it in your mind, that is a reality that can happen. You just have to hold on to that reality, know that that's a reality that can exist, and stay steady and determined in going towards it every single day. Yeah, and he's not playing around. He's going to cut out everything that's not in alignment with that reality. So that's what you can kind of be severe with, so you can close out all those old cycles. So you can let the old die out with the old and with the new. So let's see what the offering is about. The offering. The offering. I can read Roman numerals. I can. No, I can't. Not this. Oh, oh, I can. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I don't want to pause it. Okay, here. Okay. The offering. Unlike many other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up. For the sake of the bigger picture, if nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will take time and meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses, but recognize in the link between the sacrifice and the word sacred. Oh, wait, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. Ooh, one leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. Yeah, you're getting ready to offer more of your whole self to the world. And that can be scary, especially with creations and your own unique creations. It can be very, very tough. But this is the place of addictions too. And you know what addictions are? It is literally just you. There's somewhere in your life force energy that you're not allowing out to create your life in exactly the way that you want to create it. So it's a part of you internally that you recognize at a subconscious level that needs to be externalized. So we fall into habits and habits of all kinds. And this could just be shopping, spending, junk food, drink, but it can be drinking and drugs too. But realize that there is smoking, there is something that by you using that, you're suppressing more of your whole self and who you truly are and what actually wants to come out. And instead, if you just put out the new, then you get to realize more of your whole self. And then you get to be on fire for the next year with this Jupiter trine that's coming in. I'm very excited for it. But start small. This is the new moon to really start small. Just tiny little baby step. All right. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. And if you would like help stepping into a higher level of embodiment, definitely check out my subscription on YouTube. This has so much to kind of help you get moving in alignment with your higher self and into your own heart and creating your own story. So you start amplifying and affecting the field with the story that you truly want to create. And you can start taking action that is in alignment with your higher self. So that allows you to embody more of your life force energy. So you become an amplified field because, you already are anyway, but why not make it bigger? All right. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Hey, Capricorn, I won't lie. This is a bit of a heavier one for you. With this happening at an angle of your chart with Saturn, Neptune, Mars, it might be a little chaotic at home, or just internally, there might need to be a complete readjustment. Maybe some of you are moving, and if you are being pushed to move, then it's for a bigger reason. It's because you're supposed to be somewhere else. And wherever you move, it is going to be more fulfilling. And at the same time, drink lots of water. I just talked to my friend, actually, that's a Capricorn rising. Make sure you're taking care of yourself because your inner world, you are waking up internally in a whole new way. And it's important to take care of your body and drink lots of water, move a lot. We are moving into a time right now for this next year, especially where it's really powerful to start moving from the body and then letting that rework the mind versus getting stuck in the mind and trying to make sense of everything, especially because this looks like you could definitely be going through more of an awakening, waking up more to more of your light body. But and it's hard to realize how freeing that is and how your body your body's consciousness does allow you to move in a more freeing way when you just move with the body. And then you release a lot of just the ego. The ego just tries to hold on to control and limiting beliefs and old stories and victim narratives that keep you really stuck versus just allowing yourself to move in a new way where it really does set you free and it allows your life force energy to move. So yeah, heavy stuff at home for sure. You could be dealing with some sort of, loss. A lot of people are kind of, we're entering a whole new era. So a lot of people aren't coming into the new era with us. So I'm sorry for some of you if you are too many cards, if you are going through that. But yeah, this emotional loss, and you have to realize this emotional loss is from lifetimes, soul lifetimes. See that spiral? That's your soul going through spirals and spirals of other lifetimes and not just this one. So you could feel extra heavy and just extra weighed down and just ready to cry in general. But with that release and with that emotional alchemy, it really will set you free. And it's time to, go through the transformation. A whole new era is upon us, and it's time to let go of the old so the new can fully come in and to be excited for the new. But change is hard. Change is always hard. It is difficult at the beginning, but if you know the seeds that you want to plant, you can start planting those and that can give you some hope and excitement for the new era that is upon us. Because some of you were sacrificing yourself too much and giving too much of your own energy away towards things that weren't really, for you, but you did it out of obligation. See, this is her life force energy, out of obligation or old programming, old ways of being that we just have in our bodies and in our DNA. That wasn't true freedom. That wasn't allowing you to really shine out in the world and to go and create the things that you're truly supposed to create. Because that's what wants to happen. Like you have big, bold visions and you know how to build. You are a Capricorn and you are a leader of building the new. So it's time to allow yourself to get fired up, trust that vision, act on the visions that you have. You can take small baby steps with this new moon, and then it leads to bigger steps like quantum jumps later. But this is a good time to maybe take one bold, courageous action towards that bigger vision, because the King of Wands always has his own vision. He doesn't ask anybody. He doesn't have any bosses. He doesn't maybe he'll ask the Queen of Wands. But the earth signs are getting fired up right now too. They're not sacrificing themselves as much as they used to in the past, because they're feeling this fire in the life force, internally with their soul, wanting them to move in different ways. So that's what's really trying to happen. So you just got to allow it to happen, because the King of Wands has a lot of energy and you got to allow that to flow. Because when you suppress it, that just makes you sad in general. You get stuck and depressed and in your emotional loss, and you just kind of weigh yourself down. And you're trying to break out of the box, or your soul is, because there's this bigger gnosis that's within you of where you're going next that's going to set you free. So it's time to move from the body first, because you don't fully have to know. Your body knows in the present moment the next best step, what you should do. And, don't try to rationalize yourself out of it. Just let it happen. And then it'll really break you out of the box where you were previously in a box, where you didn't know you were in a box, but you were in a box. And you don't know until you start taking action in that way. Because our body is connected to the subconscious, which creates 95% of our reality. The mind creates 5% of our reality. So, and it's, the subconscious is connected to everything and everyone in other timelines. So our body has so much wisdom. And it's just our body is retraining the mind. And you just got to let that happen. At the same time, let the death and rebirth happen of who you've been in the past that is not serving you anymore. In this society, we don't know how to get familiar with death. And this can be a death of an old identity, an old ego, an old way of being, an emotion, a thought process, a belief, all sorts of things that are supposed to go through a death and rebirth and a transformation that, sometimes we don't do it until it's too late, until we're forced to. So know what needs to die so the new can be reborn, because that is setting you free. That is exactly where you've been sacrificing yourself where you didn't need to. Because more of your life force energy and your soul gnosis wants to come on and you want to fly. And it's all about getting into that gnosis, your own inner gnosis. Let me read gnosis. I mean, in case some of you don't know gnosis, but I'm sure you guys know gnosis. LXXV. Oh God, too many gnosis. Come on, gnosis. Maybe gnosis doesn't want to come out. But yeah, no, the gnosis is just that inner knowing. You start to know more of your soul. You start to really just like have knowings with how you should move and why. And it's kind of like the silent decree. When it comes to manifestation, sometimes like you just get a vision so strong and you just have this like complete knowing of what's for you in the future. You just like, there's nothing that will stop you from moving towards it. And it's that kind of gnosis that is coming online for you right now. Yeah, I can't find gnosis. Wait, okay, let me pause it. I'll find gnosis. Okay, I was so there's forwards, not backwards. I don't know Roman numerals. Okay. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures in scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, gnosis points to the deep timelessness, archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling, not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip towards mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Yep, that passion is going to liberate you, and it's very exciting. And did you know the foundation of politics, religion, science, all the spiritual studies is mysticism? So that's a good place to start if you just want to know the deeper underlying energetics of reality. But yeah, follow your passion at the end of the day. All right. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Hi, Aquarius. So this is a new beginning in your everyday life, which the third house is powerful because it's your focus, your energy, your attention. What are you feeding your mind every day? What are you listening to? What are you listening, speaking, reading, learning, writing? What's going in the brain? You need a mental diet. If you want to be a powerful manifester, you need to really pay attention to your focus every single day because you are like absorbing everything. You can absorb good things, you can absorb bad things. So you want to really absorb like positive things, uplifting things, things that really allow you to uplift into your manifestations. Okay. I thought that was a spider or something, but it was my cord. Okay. Things that help you, that raise you up, that uplift you. that allow you to move in quantum ways every single day towards your highest destiny and highest timeline. So it's actually my favorite house because when you work with it and when you really get more tunnel visioned in on what you want to manifest, then this can be very, very powerful. And you know your path and when you're going in the right direction, when it's effortless and easy and there's a creative flow, and you could just have such a powerful creative flow right now. With writing or your projects or whatever, wherever you need that creativity, like it can easily flow out, like downloads into your mind, just out onto the page. You could write a song, you could dump out like a book all at once. And yeah, there's just so much creative energy that wants to go into creating something or monetizing your skills or your talents. And yeah, this is the time to maybe start something, take one step towards starting something, creating something new, doing something different though, because this is completely new energy. So maybe it is something that you've kind of been holding back for a while that you that you've been waiting to create that, maybe it's your drafts on TikTok or something, and you're like, oh, that's too much. Like, but now would be the time to like post it and, it go viral. And this is a powerful time to release anything in your everyday life that isn't in alignment with your highest timeline. And, you got to clear the space so the new can truly come in. And because, yeah, you can make dream money right now, or there's money that can be made more so in alignment with, your bigger life force energy, with your higher self, with your soul purpose and your mission. And it's all about taking that vision that you have seriously, monetizing that skill or that talent, starting that project, starting whatever new that you've been scared to start. Like, time to start it, time to put in the work, because the seed has been planted. And this is the time to plant the seeds in your everyday life so the new can be so abundant. Because Nine of Pentacles came out. The seed is going to lead to the Nine of Pentacles. And she is abundant. She is effortlessly abundant, though. Like, she doesn't have to try. She's very relaxed. She just knows her worth and her value and her energy. And she knows who she is. So she knows how to receive. She works with her feminine and masculine energy balance. She gets that brilliant idea from the feminine, and then she builds it with her masculine. And some of you might be healing your root chakra right now. So it's good to kind of let this happen and maybe clear out a lot of fears when it comes to money, because then you can, once you clear out the fears or the limitations, then you can really be so abundant. And your feminine energy just really wants to flow. So know where you have the structure already, but at the same time, don't release the masculine energy where it's the shadow masculine energy where it's trying to hang on too tightly, be too practical, be too planned, too in control, where actually you can lean into the feminine energy more and start moving from your heart and creating from your heart and having more of an amplified field every single day. So you can attract in the people, places, things, opportunities towards you. And it all starts with you and your mindset. I love how there's a circle around her head too. So robotic affirmations right now would be super, super powerful, or 10-minute affirming every single day. It can truly get you in alignment with your heart and with your higher purpose and mission. And you basically want to be an amplified signal out in the world. And the only way to do that is to be in touch with your heart and creating from the heart and moving in alignment with your heart. But then you can be a big amplified field out in the world. But then the co-collaborations can come in. Oops, with the 3. And some of you might be really truly speaking your mind in a whole new way. So let that boldness come out of you. Not that this is the base chakra, not the throat chakra, but All right. Thank you so much, Aquarius. And if you would like help stepping into a higher level of embodiment and using my manifestation tools, I just put quantum affirming up there. which is very, very powerful. But the Just Do It challenge, it is all about stepping into that higher level of embodiment so you can start creating your reality every single day, almost on autopilot. Like if you do it for long enough, which you should, there is actually a schedule. So you at least do it for like 30 days or 90 days, 30 days. But once you go that long, then you'll just want to. Then you are able to embody your higher self more, and then you can just create in an easy, effortless flow. And it's very, very fulfilling. So check out my YouTube subscription if you would be interested in that. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Pisces, how is it going for you? Okay, so this is a whole new beginning with your second house, which is your finances. It's time to take that bold action on a new income stream idea. Really knowing your worth and your value and busting through any limiting belief that might be stopping you when it comes to the amount of money that you know you can create. It is inherent in you. You are worthy. You don't have to prove your worthiness. You know, you are already worthy. So this could be a balance of going back and forth with seeing where you have been pushing too hard, where you've been moving from survival, where you haven't been truly recognizing your worth and your value, where you've been limiting yourself with those creative ideas that you could actually put out into the universe and allow that to bring you more money. Our money or business, I liked this. I like Josie's Grouse how she talks about business because she is spiritual and she is woo-woo, but she is so grounded with how she set up her business, and she is an OG with like doing it in the first place. So it's so impressive. But business is basically just trade for around the world. You know, life would be so boring if we didn't have business, and it's just trading, you know, what we have with each other. And there was one more thing that she said. Oh yeah, having more ways that money can flow to you does create a wider net for money to flow to you. So if it's just, you know, one new income stream or one new way of allowing money to flow to you, this can be a really, really powerful time to start something like that. And then at the same time, busting through any limiting beliefs when it comes to money. Because dream money can definitely happen, but it's definitely going to take courageous action from that true soul alignment with who you truly are. And yeah, then allowing the abundance to come in, but break through all those limiting beliefs and truly recognize that you are valuable, like inherently at that deeper soul level. And the more you recognize your value at the deeper soul level, the more money that can come in. Because you are kind of awakening in a whole new way. You could be kind of awakening to a whole new identity. And this is a powerful time to step into a higher level of embodiment, to know you're worthy, know who you are. You have a dream of that highest version of you that you've always known about. And now is the time to just embody that and embody that every single day and see where that leads you. See how far you get, because your vessel is the container for your reality that is created. So you changing your program, your identity is the master program. And when you change your identity, it anchors a new reality. So realize where you can maybe do the identity work or step into a higher level of embodiment to anchor a new reality. And if you would like help with that, actually, that's what my whole challenge is about in my YouTube subscription. And it's really fun. It can help you start creating reality in such an easy, effortless way, really in tune with your story and where you're going. And you almost start doing it on autopilot. So look into that if you want any help with that. But allow the shift to happen, allow the change to happen, because you're stepping into this higher level of embodiment from a place of, you know, just who you've been, who you truly are at the deepest level possible. just who you naturally are, you know, as like a kid, like who you were like before all the program, before trauma, before whatever, like just who you naturally are is who you're stepping into. So all the abundance can come in. And yeah, it might be time to take that leap. See where you can take that risk, take that leap. And, you know, this is the Fool card comes out because it's a leap that you just feel so strongly that you're excited about, you're passionate about it. You just have that whole vision about it. You know, take that leap. Obviously, don't be reckless and just quit your job and burn the bridge, you know, behind you, like if you don't have like any future plans. But there's something where you can take a leap into embodying the new or into the new that can lead to a lot more abundance and a lot more freedom. Um, and know that you don't have to fully know where you're going. You just have to know the next best step. It is good to let the body lead the way so you can kind of like move more so in alignment and let that retrain the mind so you don't stay in any limiting programs that might be holding you back. And you will see, I think you might see reality a little bit clearer too. But when you see reality clear, it does allow you more access to create the reality that you truly do want. So let me read this stone because I love this coming out for the money reading, the stone. Yeah, this is inherently within you, whatever this is. It's a way of making money or more abundance in your life in a way that is just like naturally who you are. Okay, the stone. The eternal, the anchor, the rock. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us. As it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans, a single stone may see thousands of generations come and go. Therefore, it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side. So no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back to the stone, tethering us to earth, helping us to ground and connect to the stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us, humble and easily unnoticed. The power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. So I think you're actually being very rewarded right now for your natural presence. And that is helping, you know, yourself anchor down, but your natural frequency and higher vibration that you have that is naturally bringing order and coherence to everyone around you. That's what the value is. So your energy, your vibration, you're bringing order to a chaotic world where there is disorder, where it's just part of who you are. And you being that calm stone in the center of wherever you are, you're doing everyone a service. So that's what you're recognizing. That's what you're actually, how you're making the new abundance is finding maybe your environment or where you're supposed to be. So you bring the order out of the chaos that is kind of everywhere right now. But you know how to, so you're this one that is strongest, that is easily connected to your highest self in the strongest way. And that's what brings like true order and grounding out into the world. All right. Thank you so much, Pisces. And if you would like a reading, check out my link in bio. Also, if you would like help stepping into a higher level of embodiment, definitely check out my subscription on YouTube. It is all about allowing you to step into that higher level of embodiment and to start creating reality from your heart and from your higher self. So you are on your highest timeline. All right. Thank you.